Carson!
A very good evening. Welcome to Matchday Live. We are so very excited. One, because it is Champions League night. Two, because Neda Manua is in the studio and we're always excited when he's in the studio. And three, because we have a debutant tonight, and a debutant we are so very excited to have in the studio. Please give a big, big Matchday Live welcome to Scott Carson.
That's me, Scott Carson. Thank you very much.
Excited to be here.
The Scott Carson.
You don't always clap everybody, so that was...
That is true. Mm-hmm. That is true. But Scott's the guy, so it's great to have him here.
Welcome.
Very happy to be here. Looking forward to it.
It's lovely to see your face. We have missed seeing you around. How has life been?
By the looks of the screen there, I think it's treating me a little bit better than it was when I was playing. So I feel like I'm looking a little bit better than when I was playing. So no, it's been good, a little bit.
Oh, look,
totally different.
You're right, Scott.
I think I look a bit younger now.
He looks fresh now, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does, yeah. He's had a few earlier nights, you know what I mean? It's a good position to be in.
Must have been, at least I've got a little bit of time to get my hair cut now than when I was here, yeah.
Well, we are really excited to have you on the show tonight. And we wanted to get straight into it. We wanted to just go straight into it, not team news like we normally do, which is out. We're going to run through all of that with you in just a minute, but we wanted to get straight into your best moments because our content team loved when you were at the club, Scott, because we made so much incredible, fun content with you. And so what we decided that we're going to do is we're going to show you 5 of your best content moments and we're going to ask you to rank them. Oof. So I'm sure you'll remember all of these. I did. So let's have a look at the first classic Carson.
Yeah, that was a good one. I do remember that one. There was a lot of talk about people waiting for the England squads and stuff. So
it's John Stones' face for me.
I swear, I've had 2 missed calls at 11:45. No voicemail,
Bring it back.
Love that one.
That was a good one. I enjoyed it because there was a lot of. Before the England announcements, there was a lot of suspense from the lads. Have you had a call? Have you heard anything? So they were all obviously waiting. So I just jumped on it and just tried to make a laugh out of it. And it seemed to have gone down well. So I think I don't know what else has come, but I think that was one of my best ones. So I'm gonna go straight in as number one. That one.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
On a blind ranking, fair play.
I'm not sure I can beat that one.
I love that insight as well. You know, I didn't think people like John Stones sat wondering if they were going to get in the England. I just thought they'd be like,
never be too confident.
I'm getting in.
No. Never be too confident.
Okay, so you've gone straight in at number 1.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at the next one. We'll see if you've gone too early. So this one we've entitled Yoga Ball.
Take the ball. I bounce it.
Why yoga ball, Scott?
I think Shabby and Rich have brought it out for to try and just change something up, and then obviously the keepers being keepers, we've just gone a little bit rogue with it, and we've started crossing the ball in, and we've just changed it up and just had a laugh with it. But it was all good fun. I think that number 5.
He was going to say 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you agreeing so far?
I hope there's better than that.
No, it's just I just wouldn't have put one out straight away.
Okay.
But he knows himself, so yeah, so it's a strong start.
Okay, the next one is entitled Lederhosens. Do you remember? Do you know which one's coming?
Yeah, I'm not sure this one's funny or embarrassing. I'm not sure which one it is, but I think Ortega liked it anyway.
So this is the first frame. Are you thinking funny or embarrassing?
I just had to embrace it. There was quite a lot of supporters in the pub that we went to, so I just had to. There was no turning back then, was there?
Where was this?
You like Cumberland sausage?
Cumberland what?
Cumberland sausage?
No, never tried it.
You haven't tried it?
No.
You've been in England 2 years and you haven't tried Cumberland sausage?
No, I'm in love with Sunday roast, yeah.
You need to try Cumberland sausage.
Okay.
Like that.
In your house again?
If you want, yeah.
Where was this?
I'm trying to think where it was. It was
Is it
somewhere in
It's in the square in town. I forget what it's called, in Manchester city centre.
No, we was abroad.
Oh, no, that was abroad?
Yeah, we was abroad somewhere, I think.
Columbus.
Yeah, Columbus, that was it.
Ohio. Oh, that's me. I thought it was Manchester.
So why in Columbus, Ohio, were you doing that?
So we was obviously there in pre-season, I think it was, and then obviously the media teams come up with that we're going to go to a German pub and try the German sausages and things. And
while wearing lederhosen.
Obviously, if Stefan, who's German, somehow gets out of not wearing the German outfit, and I think it was probably because they knew I'd accept it and I'd just try and turn it into a bit of fun. But it was a good laugh, and even though we weren't allowed, we got a couple of sips of some German beer as well.
Strong as well, yeah.
Well, years later, it's still making us smile, Scott. So we appreciate your fancy dress abilities. Where are you ranking it?
Going to go right in the middle, number 3.
Okay, what were you going for?
No, I thought he was going to say 4.
Okay.
I was wearing lederhosen last year at Oktoberfest for a different company.
Yeah, I think it might have been a little bit funnier if it was for that.
But yeah, because I felt ridiculous, but then I looked around and everyone's wearing it, so all of a sudden you're just like wallpaper.
Yeah.
If we asked you, would you have worn lederhosens?
1000%, I've done it before.
We love this.
Yeah.
We love this.
Content.
We love this.
I'll do many things.
And are you still a big fan of Cumberland sausages?
Oh yeah, of course I am.
Part of his identity. Why would he not?
It's my heritage. That,
exactly. You know what I mean?
Okay, now I was on the tour on this one. I remember the day that you did this, and the content team came back laughing because they were so excited by what you had created. This is Cowboy.
What were we thinking?
Look at him.
Yeah.
Look at him.
Look smart,
Right,
Scott.
I actually really like it, and I loved it at the time as well.
That's a fit, that.
I mean, I could see you in another life as a cowboy.
Yeah,
It's giving Woody.
I like maybe not so much the cowboy hats, but I like the flat caps and the little woolly type stuff. Maybe more like a farmer, but it is pretty close to being a cowboy. So I'll take that.
Yeah.
See, that would be my number 1. Where are you ranking it?
I'm going to put that in number 2. It was a good day that I had some fun, and to be honest, I did take a little bit of stick for it off the lads when we come back, and it was the group chat photo for quite a long time. Yeah.
The first team group chat photo was you as a cowboy.
Me and Josh having a face off in the cowboy stuff. So they did have a good laugh about that.
Question.
By the way, ladies love cowboys, Scott. So
are you still in the group chat?
No.
Did you leave or did you get kicked out?
I left.
Okay.
I had to.
That's noble.
Yeah.
It's noble, yeah. You don't want to get there.
You don't want to you don't want to see the removed, do you?
No.
Did you announce that you were leaving? Did you say thanks, lads?
Yes, obviously try to put a nice message in. Waited a little bit for some replies back. To be fair, I got some nice messages. Some in that, some private, and then I think you do have to just say my time's up. I need to remove myself and.
Yeah, you got to get out before
you don't want to see that. Yeah, you've been kicked out.
No.
Well, you're getting a lot of love right now on YouTube. The comments are full of nice things, Scott. So
that's brilliant.
We knew that would be the case. We knew that. Right. There's one last one. So that we know where this one's going now. This is entitled "Diving in Dressing Room." Do you know this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that sounds so sore. Oh gosh.
And the sunglasses.
You would never sober way there.
No, that's when you said that. I remember all of them. I think that's the one I don't really remember. I think that was it just after the treble or was it? I can't even remember
Who's filming? Do you know whose this is? Whose angle this is?
Known some of the lads that I do over the past few years. I would be there's only a couple that gets the phones out, and I think my guess would be on Riyad Mahrez because he loves to film and catch people when they're not looking and put it about. So my guess is him, but I'm not 100%. But there was obviously a few too many celebratory drinks involved in that.
I feel like we need to try and do some detective work and find out who that was. What are the clues to find out who this was?
It's hard work getting up there, man.
It's not.
Oh gosh. Oh, brilliant.
Well, there is your blind ranking of your top 5 best content moments. Thank you. We loved going back through them. Thank you so much. Thank you. Of course, they're your top content moments, but of course you've had a glittering, long career in football as well. It's not just about the incredible content moments that you've given us. So we wanted to have a look back, talk about your career in general, and of course have a look back at the two City games.
Yeah.
So the first one we're going to have a look at is let's have a look.
I've set standards.
Ederson is coming off and Scott Carson is coming on.
And he gets a huge roar of approval from the Etihad Stadium crowd.
See John Stones and Laporte there were both applauding him onto the pitch, so obviously a popular member of the group.
I've got a work ethic that I hope people have looked at.
And Scott Carson's save.
Really good. In general, people don't see much of his abilities in training.
Yeah, he deserved it.
If you see how he's training, and how he is on the line saving balls, it's incredible.
Here's Marcus Edwards. Beautifully nicked through.
And Carson makes a wonderful save.
He might be injured here,
Well, it's the most difficult save that any goalkeeper has had to make tonight.
It was a one-on-one. He came out, he made himself big, he made the save, he took a whack, and he has just been acclaimed a hero by the Etihad Stadium faithful.
So important for us in the locker room, and it helps to, to Eddie and Zach be calm. And
he's training really well. He's obviously a great guy to have. He's very popular in the dressing room. He's very popular in our fan base.
So no goals tonight, but well, we all know this game was all over. 5-0 away from home meant that tonight's game was a little bit of a formality. There was one lovely moment in the second half when Scott Carson came on for Ederson and was in a one-on-one situation with Paulinho and made the save. It was a little bit of a party atmosphere in so many ways.
Hopefully he can play, and he can play a few more years, and can stay here a few more years.
His last UEFA Champions League appearance was for Liverpool in 2005.
The manager needs me. I'm going to be ready.
He's really not just a lovely guy, also for his age, a great footballer.
For his age?
For his age, Scott!
That was a little bit naughty of him, wasn't it?
She left a bit on you to finish, yeah? Nice.
Yeah.
But it's obvious how much, anytime any of the players talked about you, it's obviously how loved you were in the squad, and we're seeing it by the fans again in the YouTube comments as well. That specific night, what are your memories of that night?
I just remember it was a little bit of a shock. I think it might have been a half time. I think Xavi come to me and he went, "Do you want to go on?" And I'm like, "Well, is Eddie all right?" He went, "No, just do you want to go on? Pep might bring you on because you've been training well." I can't remember exactly, but I was like, "Yeah, of course I do." And then I just kept watching the time, and he was getting further and further, and I'm thinking it's going to be a little bit embarrassing if I come on for just like last 10 minutes or something. But luckily, I got 18 minutes, I think it was, and I was fortunate enough to make a half decent save and kept a clean sheet. So I was delighted to obviously get on the field and to at least make a save.
When you were sitting on the bench and you sort of thought you were coming on, what did you feel? Did you feel nervous, or was it just like excitement, or what was it?
Well, that's the thing. Before that, I'd probably played over 500 games, and I hadn't played for obviously that long, and then you're like. And to be honest, of my whole career, I don't think there was many times I came on off the bench. So I didn't really know what was happening. So then my heart's gone. I'm trying to put my boots on. I'm a bit like, what's going on here? I should be used to this. Should be used to this by now. But no, it was, like I say, it was brilliant, and it was nice to see that, because sometimes you don't see it from the outside what other people say. So it was nice to see.
And I remember I was there that night. The reaction from the crowd was incredible. People were so happy to see you playing.
Yeah, no, it was. That's the thing. I think ever since I come here, the reaction from the City fans and everyone involved in the club towards me was always really positive. Maybe on the outside, maybe not so much, but no, I just felt I felt a great connection from the minute that I signed, and I had a wonderful time here, and I'll be forever grateful of it.
Now, that wasn't your debut, because, of course, your debut for City was in the
yeah.
Newcastle game.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at that. So, this is Newcastle, and there you are. What's your memories of this one?
Yeah, I think, well, this was just after we won the league.
Yeah.
And then we all came to the CFA for a little party and a little get together, and I've got to thank a couple of lads, because they obviously Pep had a couple of glasses of wine and a couple of cigars, and they were, Pep, just give him a game, will you? And he went, oh, okay, I will. And then obviously we went back in on the Friday, and Shabby's pulled me to the office and said, make sure you're ready, because you're gonna play at Newcastle away. So I was obviously delighted about it, and but obviously this game half summed me up. A 4-3, 2 penalties against me, and I just why can't I just have a quiet 1-0 win? But no, it was brilliant, and it was nice to obviously play another Premier League game that I hadn't played for so long, that I didn't probably think I was going to get the opportunity to do again.
Can you remember which of the players it was out of interest that was getting...
Yeah, I think it was...
Who's the Scott Carson fan club?
Yeah, I think it was Kevin Walks, and I think they were the main ones, and they were just trying to get me a game. But obviously when we went out just before the handshakes, the Newcastle are doing a guard of honour, and I'm like, oh, this is a little bit embarrassing. I've not played a single minute, and I'm going through it. I can just see a couple of them looking at me as if to say. But no, it was good fun, and I think we was on a bit of a consecutive winning streak away from home, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm playing now. Please carry this on, and I was glad that we carried that on and got a 4-3.
Oh, I love that story. I didn't know that. I love that story so much. Of course, throughout your time here, we had some incredible moments, incredible occasions. I think for myself and most fans, Istanbul is the one that stands out. What's your memories of Istanbul?
To be honest, it just seemed to go by so quick, and I remember it was a really cagey game, and just didn't seem like it was. I think the way everyone planned it out, the way Pep had planned it out, we was going to be in total control. We obviously knew they were a good side, and it was not going to be too easy, but it just didn't seem to go as smooth as we wanted. But then, obviously, my biggest memories are thinking back to the saves that Eddie made towards the end of the game, and how he kept us in it, because you know, in them sort of games and them finals, that one goal for them, it gives them a real boost, and they were on top towards the end. So it was obviously vital for us, and I was obviously buzzing for Eddie to make those saves.
I'll never ever forget that save that he made.
Yeah.
It feels like I'm still there when I think about it. And you had a really special relationship with Edison, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I think from the minute I came in here, obviously when I first came in, his English wasn't great, and obviously my Portuguese and Brazilian is worse than his English. So, but no, we just used to communicate with each other, even though we weren't even having a conversation. And he'd just laugh at me, and I'd laugh at him. And obviously, the more his English got better, we formed a really good relationship. And I'm not sure I helped him in any way because of how talented and what such a good goalkeeper he was, but. No, I was there for him if he needed me, and I hope I did help him in some way over the years I was here.
I'm sure you did in many ways. And did you teach him any northeast slang?
I'm northwest. I'm Cumbrian.
You've got to be careful.
Cumbrian.
Got to be careful.
Okay, we're gonna get in trouble. Yes.
Yeah, Mara. That's the one. That's the one he likes.
Mara.
Mara. Hiya, Mara. All right, Mara. It's just mate. That's
brilliant.
That's Cumbrian, and
there we go.
That was the one. I think I've got a couple of shirts where he's to my Mara. So
yeah,
that was the one he liked.
Of course, when you came here, we signed you from Derby. What was it like in terms of the decision to come here? Because obviously at Derby you were the number one, and when you came here, you knew that you were going to be part of the goalkeeping group, as opposed to sort of being the natural number one. So what was that like for you to come here and do that?
Yeah, at the time I was in a bit of a tough situation at Derby, and Obviously, I think I was 33 at the time, so I still wanted to carry on playing week in, week out, and but there wasn't too many options. And then obviously when the City one came up, I came up and had a chat with Shabby and seen the manager and things, and thought, obviously I'm coming towards the end of my career now, so I need to. It would be nice to finish it off like this and to learn from obviously Pep and see how Shabby does his methods and things. So it was, but to be honest, I only expected to come for maybe 1 or 2 seasons and see how it went. But I think the first couple of 2-3 weeks, something like that, was difficult. I found it hard, and but after that, I just said to myself, look, how can you be the best? How can you be the best number 3 for this team? And what can I do to help the young ones come in, the older ones, the ones who aren't playing? How can I? So I just try to just be myself every day and treat every single person in there the same as and how I expected to be treated. And I think probably that's why people liked it.
Carson.
What's going on here?
Oh,
A bit of Portuguese there.
well, Scott, we've got a surprise for you. Throughout the show today, we are going to drop the lights at any point that I actually don't know either. We're going to drop the lights and we are going to ask you a question about yourself. This is Carson Mind. It's a question to you about you.
Okay.
But hold on.
Carson.
And that's how we'll announce that it's time. So, question number 1 for you tonight. Which 2 goalkeepers were at the club when you joined in 2019?
Edison and Claudio Bravo.
Correct. So 1 of 1 so far. Cue lights up.
Oh, it's magical.
There we go.
What a set.
We have no idea when that's going to happen again.
Okay,
So yes,
cool.
just be aware, everybody. It is a pleasure to talk to you, and I feel like you have set the standard for a third goalkeeper that is very high for everybody that follows you now. And I'm looking forward to chatting more about you and everything throughout the night. But of course, there is a game tonight. There is a Champions League game tonight. Let's take a look at today's starting 11 for our Champions League game. So in goal, of course, it's Donnarumma. And then you have Mateus Nunes, Johnny Stones. Partnering John Stones, it is Ruben Diaz. And then Joško Vardiol. Nico, who we will be hearing from a little bit later in the show as well. And then Rico Lewis. Of course, captain Bernardo Silva. And the big smile of Savinho. Jeremy Doku. And there he is. Breathe, everybody, it's Erling Haaland. So that is your starting 11 for tonight's game. You can see the team across the bottom of the screen there as well. Nedum, instant reaction to that starting 11 tonight?
It just looks really strong all the time at the moment. So, yeah, I'm at ease with it. Good to see people getting back in, saying the overall squad as well, who's been injured. But it seems like they're in a good position, and that should be a strong enough side to play well today and hopefully get the 3 points as well.
See Erling Haaland it's hard to say the form of his life because he's just been in incredible form ever since he's been alive, basically. Of course, at the weekend again, another 2 goals. Scott, from your point of view, because we had on a couple of weeks ago the ability to talk to people that have actually played with him, actually trained with him, to get your perspective from it as well. We'll ask you that in just 1 second, but of course these are his goals from the weekend, so this is his first one. This form that he's in at the minute, Nedum, is ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely is. But as I even look at this goal here, I can see why he's free, and if I was the defender, I would have done the same thing as theirs, because he's doing so much stuff in your blind spot, and you can try and look for him, but in the end, they'll be critical of each other because Erling Haaland's got a free header from, firstly, great bowling by Nico O'Reilly as well, but he's got a free header from 8 yards out. Well, why is that? It's because his movement is as good as we'll see in world football. So yeah, this form that he's in, it's absolutely outrageous, and I like it when he is feeling like this, because he's just got, as I say, his movement for me is as good as it comes, but you add in the finishing as well, and you add onto that the confidence. What an amazing signing. There've been so many debates recently which I've been involved in where people are saying, oh, you know, is he one of the best? Is it this? No, it's easier because he's playing in this era. I said, well, if it's easy, why isn't everybody else doing the same thing? You know what I mean? Like, he is a star. And best of all for me, he feels like he's happy here. He wants to be a part of it. And all these goals that he's scoring and the way he celebrates, if somebody else was scoring the goals, he'd be celebrating just the same with them. Like, what a top number 9, what a player. And you know what I mean? This is somebody that's going to be a star for probably the next decade. It's incredible.
People are actually saying that's easy.
People, because he scores loads of goals, people say it's easy to score loads of goals. Well, so why is everyone else not doing it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's figure that one out.
So, Scott, what is it like to have Erling Haaland take shots at you?
I think you can obviously see from the form he's in right now. He's, I think from the minute when he first came, he just seen his pace and power, and when you see them big long legs coming towards you, you just thought you're going to be in a bit of trouble here. But he's, I think sometimes he doesn't, even though obviously everyone's talking about him, he still doesn't get the credit that I think he deserves. Because I think probably people look at it, oh, he's maybe missed this chance or that chance, but he's always there, and he's always looks like he's still got the confidence to go and put another 2 in or another 3 in. So he's been different class since he come in, and I think it was a game a couple of weeks ago. They were honoured him that he only touched the ball 7 times, but he scored 2 goals. I think it was, and it's like that just says it all about him. As soon as he sniffs at half a chance, he's going to take it.
Do you think it ever bothers him that people count how many touches he's had in a game?
No, because I think as well the way that he has to play in the system that Pep probably wants him to play, he's not wanting him to be running into a channel, or he's not wanting him to be maybe coming too deep. He's wanting him to stay in a position where he's going to be there when the chances do come up. So I don't think anyone in City is worried about him having seven touches of a ball in 45 minutes, as long as he's getting the chances, and more importantly, he's putting them away like he does.
Yeah, I would agree, and I think from my perspective, if I was to be playing against him, firstly, the fact that he's there means that myself and another centre half will always be concerned about him. And some of the runs that he makes, these are good runs, so you end up sort of falling for it and such. But when City play against a lot of sides, they'll drop into like a mid or a low block and so on. The person that is isolated the most will be the number 9 for City, because they'll have defenders here, midfielders in front of them, everything tight and compact. So naturally, there won't be that many touches for somebody in a game. And again, as Scott said, he deserves a ton of credit because he remains patient. There are times where, say, there's a lot of love at the moment for like Harry Kane, who's obviously an incredible player, but he has the license to roam wherever he wants to get on the ball, and they play with a different style. But if Erling Haaland starts to roam, City's goal threat disappears in a different sort of way. So his job, at times it might feel thankless to him, but he understands it, which is why he does it. And we're talking about the Premier League's top goal scorer as it stands. And, you know, it'll be an incredible feat if it doesn't end up that way come the end of the season. So let's not worry too much about his touches, because it seems like he's doing just fine.
It makes me laugh though when it was a couple of weeks ago when he scored 2 goals and he was annoyed that he hadn't scored 3 goals. Like that.
That's the way he is. That's the way even sometimes he'd scored hat-tricks and then he'd still come in and he'd be a bit, because he obviously he's a perfectionist, and if he gets 5 chances, he wants to score 5 goals. So he does get disappointed, but that's only better for City, because you know that he's improving and he's wanting to improve to be able to better how well he's done so far, which has been incredible.
I'm so excited about how many records he might break this season. A player that you will have seen develop throughout your time at City is Rico Lewis. Of course, he starts tonight. He's obviously come through the academy, so you'll have seen him break in and then develop through. What have you made of the development that he's had to the point, obviously, where he's starting in Champions League games? Yeah, no,
he's been brilliant ever since he come through, and he's a proper nice lad, proper down to earth kid, and I think that's what helped him as well. He came in. He just had a hard-working attitude, and whatever advice or whatever anybody said to him, he listened and he took it on board. And I think that's why he's so versatile as well, which is a big thing for the team. He can obviously go right back, and then he can go inside, and he can play in midfield. And there was even times, I think it was the first season when he was obviously really young, and he come in and he was playing the number 10 positions, and to be playing in the number 10 position for City at 18, 19, and for Pep to do that straight away, you must be some talent.
Yeah, it's his football intelligence, the way that, how many different positions. I mean, in terms of tonight, where do you see him fitting in this lineup?
Well, I don't know what's happened in the last year or 18 months, but we're seeing Nunes playing right back and Rico playing in midfield. But I think credit to the versatility of both of them. But I'd imagine Rico would be in that midfield sort of area and he'll be keen to get on the ball, put himself into good positions. And as you guys have been saying, his football intelligence is so high, especially for such a young player. And I think, as Scott was saying, his humility is a big part of his success, in my opinion, because he is listening to other people around him. I think, realistically, because of how good City's academy is, I'm sure there are some people who sort of start to believe in their own hype, but that's not what I see with Rico. This is a good player, one that's keen to get better, one that is going to be working on any flaws and stuff that he has, but more importantly, just wants to do the best job that he can for the team. So however Pep sees him, and also to be trusted by Pep like that, is
exactly.
Just,
that says it all, doesn't it?
That's the biggest pat on the back. So whatever anyone may think, I guarantee Pep thinks otherwise.
You mentioned Matheus Nunes there as well, playing right back, and particularly in that Everton game. I thought he was really impressive.
Oh, he's class. He's class. I wouldn't say he's an unsung hero as such, but in the last, say, year or so, when City were at times going through difficulties and so on, he was somebody who was showing up, somebody who's essentially at times had to learn a new position, but he's doing it in the way that sort of Pep wants him to and the team needs him to. I think he's got a real sort of drive to get on the ball, but real solid sort of defensive mentality as well. And there've obviously been low moments for him, but he's trying to overcome those. And for him to be out there on the pitch, you know that he loves it, that he enjoys it. In any particular moment, he's chipped in with big goals, he's helped with assists. Some of his general ball play, it's been fantastic, and best of all, you can see that the team and the manager trust him. So depending on whatever he wants in any particular game, Matheus Nunes can definitely do it. And I'll be honest, I thought he was an attacking midfielder, and he probably did as well. But here we are. He's a starter for Man City. He's on one of the best runs they've been on for the last year or so.
You never know what position you're going to be when you come to City. Pep will take a look at you and then.
This is factual. But
I think the right back position actually suits him really well because of how much energy he's got, how quick he is. He's
lightning, isn't he?
He's obviously got the fitness levels to be up and down constantly, and I think that's his game. He likes to go up and down, and obviously I think in midfield with City, it's a little bit more controlled and it's not so much box to box. So I think the right back position actually suits him really well.
Listen, we've got. For that game, you've got two attacking midfielders playing fullbacks at City, and it makes perfect sense. Nick O'Reilly, Matheus Nunes, but like I say, makes perfect sense.
Makes perfect sense.
Perfect sense.
Would never question it. Yes, love that. The player that's not playing tonight, obviously, is Rodri. But today was a really special day for him. He was honoured with a Walk of Fame inclusion at Villarreal, obviously the club that he came through in, which is just another achievement to add to his, extremely special couple of years that he's had. Scott, this will mean a lot to him.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, obviously, his first professional club, I think he said, and to be recognised like that. It will be special, but obviously he deserves it. Since I think he come the similar time to me, I think, and obviously Fernandinho was still here when he first came in, so he's obviously learnt off possibly, if not the best midfielder of the Premier League. So and he's obviously gone on to new heights, and he thoroughly deserves it because. Over the past few seasons, he's been unbelievable, and he's just been that part of the jigsaw that just kept on keeping the team ticking over.
Very much. His smile there was so nice as well. It was such a genuine smile from him as well. Thank you. Yeah, of course. So. Congratulations again to Rodri. He just continues with the incredible achievements. So you can see the starting 11 on the bottom of your screen there, and you will of course see there in the middle Nico, and we had the opportunity to talk to Nico earlier in the week, and we heard about his Spanish influences growing up and of course the heavy Spanish influence in the Manchester City team.
When people hear you come from La Masia, it's like they respect you, and that's really nice. And to be honest, I didn't realize it was such a huge thing in the rest of the world until I grew up. So it's nice to have been there. I think my first game in La Masia, I was 9 years old, and then I moved there when I was 11. So many players that played 5, 6, 7 years together. when we were young and now are doing amazing things in football, and that's so nice. And obviously it's a pleasure to have been there. I think for me it's really nice to have maybe the best coach in the world and even in history to teach you what he has learned. Especially he's been a midfielder, and everybody knows that he has, and I would say like he loves to teach even more midfielders than other positions, because he's been there, he's been playing his whole career, an amazing career in midfield. So I think I've learned even more in the last 6 months than ever before, and I've improved a lot, and that's thanks to him, to how much he has been trying to teach me everything.
So out of the famous Spanish midfielders, which would you say is the most influential or your favourite?
Lately Rodri, obviously, because I mean also when he's played with Spain I've always watched him, but he's so talented, so good, and I've always said it when I arrive here, not only him but all midfielders and all players, I try to look what they're the best and try to learn why he's so good, and I think he sees passes and things that now I can see and I'm trying to learn. I mean, I think he'll be a really good future coach, but because he always tries to speak with the other players, he tries to, he's a leader, and especially with midfielders, I think he tries to give us really good advices. One that I used to like a lot, and I used to watch all the games with my father, was Silva. I think Silva was, I love him, and he was obviously really, really good.
He played 10 seasons here, 436 matches, 4 Premier League titles, and a statue outside the Etihad. What does he mean to you?
That's crazy, 10 seasons here, it's amazing, 400 matches. I wish I'm here that long, but no, he was an amazing player. I used to watch him, especially in national team also, in Spain. He's been an amazing player that has helped Spain to win World Cup and everything. But I think the influence he has had in Spanish football and in Spanish midfielders to be recognized all over the world, because I think it's something that when you talk about Spain, people think of midfielders, of all the midfielders that Spain had in the last 20, 30 years, and he's really special to all Spain.
So, of course, that was Nico speaking to us earlier in the week. Nedum, it feels like he's really stepped up recently.
Yeah, absolutely has, yeah. And I think it's the type of thing which you'd hope for and expect going into, say, the second season for City. And at times, you know, if he's coming off the bench and so on, like that can be quite a tough position to be in. But he's done really, really well. But you can hear from the way he speaks that, you know, he's somebody that loves the game of football, wants to have an influence, and he's learning from all the right people. You know, you've got somebody in Rodri who's a Ballon d'Or winner. You've got someone in Pep Guardiola who was a great defensive midfielder, and as you said, possibly one of the best coaches in the history of the game. And I think when people sort of absorb that information, add it to their armoury, like, you get a really good player, don't you?
Hope he's here for 10 years, like he said.
Listen, man, sounds great. Sounds good to me.
Yes. Now, we couldn't have you here, Scott, and not go into detail about the goalkeepers. So we know all about the goalkeeper union, so we're going to pick your brains on this. So obviously, in the summer, we signed 2 new goalkeepers. So obviously, Donnarumma and James Trafford both came in. So what have you made, first of all, of their starts at City?
No, I think it's. I think they've both done brilliant, and obviously Traff started the first couple of games of the season, and I watched the Wolves game and thought he'd done brilliant. And considering it was obviously his first game back, there's obviously a lot of pressure on him, and he's obviously had a good couple of seasons with Burnley, and he's came back as an established keeper now, and he's obviously thought that this was going to be his season, and obviously they've turned around and we've signed Big Gigi, so I bet I can imagine it was a little bit tough for him, but from a City perspective, we've got two brilliant young. Even it sounds a bit strange saying Gigi's young, doesn't it? Because he's been around for so long, but got two brilliant young keepers, and I'm sure even for Traff to have someone like that working with him every single day, it's only going to help him in the long run. And I know, obviously, I've known Shabby and Rich, worked with them for 6 years, and I'm sure they'll be doing their best with both of them to improve them again.
Big Gigi, I love that. He's 26, you know. When the rumours that we were going to sign him, I swear I thought he was about 30, 31, 32.
Did he not make his debut at like 16 or something?
Yeah,
for
16, 17. It just seems he's been around for forever, doesn't it? But no, the experience he's got for someone that's 26 years old is incredible.
It feels like obviously he's come in and he's become number one, and he's followed in the footsteps of, you know, arguably City's greatest ever goalkeeper in Ederson. Yeah. Do you think it needed somebody with his kind of big personality, his big aura to step into those shoes?
Yeah, maybe, because it is obviously straight. First of all, it's a pressure position anywhere, whatever. But like you just said, you've just followed Eddie in, who's, when he came to the club, he changed a little bit of how the keepers were in this country, and with his kicking, with his passing, with just his all-round game. So I think like you said, it needed someone who's been there, done it, got the experience, and he's came in, and from that first game against United, when he made obviously that one unbelievable save, and
timing there, Scott. Well done.
Other saves, it's obviously set him off, and just to start have a first game like that and on your debut, it does help, and even for him, I do imagine he was still feeling the pressure a little bit, and it's been great to see him settle in so well.
Yeah, I mean, he's big saves already. He's already got highlights reel, Aidan.
I know he certainly has, yeah. But I suppose the thing with goalkeepers at City, like, we've seen, as is the case with Ederson, somebody who sort of changed the way that sort of goalkeepers are perceived. And obviously there'll be others within it, but how well he did it is one of the reasons why I think City have been as successful as they have been across the last 5-10 years or so. So for the next person to come in, the pressure is going to be there, because it's a significant part of, as I say, how City play. And at the moment, you know, these highlight reels are like big save after big save after big save. But he's somebody that understands that and is ready to do it. He's played under pressure for a long time, whether it's for Italy, whether he's playing in Milan, you know, whether he's playing for PSG. And for him, this is great. It feels like he's somebody that thrives in those sorts of conditions. And best of all, you know, as Scott was saying, City have got two really good young goalkeepers. I think somewhere down the road, James Trafford's probably going to be England's goalkeeper. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's how I see it. Yeah. So to have what a save that is, by the way. Unbelievable save. So to have people that are ready for those types of moments, it's a huge privilege, and obviously it brings its complexities having two at the same time. But yeah, I mean, replacing Ederson is going to be tough, and I think for Donnarumma and for James, it's going to be a long-term process to really be seen in the same line. Yeah. But what a start for him.
What a start, yeah. That save there, that on his debut, that was the moment where I thought, yes. Yeah. We've got one, and you could see that the fans just immediately fell in love with him. Oh, Scott, rate that save.
Unbelievable save, and for it to come round the back of the defender and see it probably quite late, and to get a strong hand on it like that was unbelievable save. And I think that's probably, even though what he's done in his career and the medals he's won, he maybe didn't need the confidence, but even just that save on your debut just probably made him stick his chest out, and then he's just carried it on ever since. And I think he's only going to get better. And obviously, like I said, knowing Xabi and Rich, they're only going to bring him on even more.
Yeah. What in terms of coaches then for you? What were they like? Did you enjoy? We don't talk a lot about them. What were they like for you?
Yeah, it was different to what I'd been used to. I think I'd been probably a little bit naive my whole career, where I was brought up the English way, and the English way was the way to do it. And looking back, it probably wasn't. So no, I think they just had their methods, and after it did take me a couple of weeks to get used to them and buy into it. And I think obviously if I was to do any coaching, there would be a lot of methods that they use that I would be using, because they do work. And I know that on whichever keeper it is, whether it's Donnarumma, who's had X amount of games and won X amount of medals, or it's a young keeper. They're going to work on both. So it was a brilliant learning curve for me.
Oh.
Back again.
Carson.
It's question 2 of Carson Mind. Are you ready? Questions about you, to you.
Yeah,
This is a big one, Nathan.
Go on,
I have no idea on this one. How many trophies did Manchester City win during your time at the club?
I've actually no idea.
Get the digits out.
I wouldn't even know.
So it's 2019, yeah.
I'm gonna say 11.
Scott Carson? It's 11.
He's fluked that. He's fluked that.
Off the post,
but what a flex though. Yeah. It's 11.
Can you name them all, by the way? If you would.
I've just guessed 11.
I'll give you it. 4 Premier Leagues, 1 Champions League, 1 FA Cup, 2 League Cups, 1 Community Shield, 1 Super Cup, and 1 Club World Cup.
As you do.
11.
As you do. Nothing of it.
Impressive. Congratulations, that's 2 in 2 so far. Well done. There'll be more. Now, of course, we have a Champions League game tonight. The Champions League is back. City taking on Villarreal. We're going to head over now to our commentators for tonight's match, Alistair Mann and Steve Howie. They're going to give us the Villarreal team.
Thank you, Nat. Yes, it is baking hot. It has been all day in this part of Spain, and there is every reason to feel this could be a terrific night of football. Plenty of changes made by the home side, by the way. 7 in all, which perhaps tells you how much they are looking forward to tonight's game, including the goalkeeper, Luis Junior, Santiago Mourinho, Juan Foyt, Renato Vega, Alfonso Pedraza, Pap Gay, Thomas Partey, of course a familiar name indeed, Santi Comesnania, Tyon Buchanan, Nicolas Pepe, another former Arsenal player, and Georges Mikhailtadze, who is a Georgian international striker. 7 changes in all, a fascinating mix of players as well, with plenty of players with Premier League experience. Alongside me tonight is former City defender Steve Howie. Steve, what has struck you about this Villarreal 11 tonight?
Well, I think first of all you've got to look at the fact that the manager's team that he played before this and then makes 7 changes, so we know where his priorities lie and what he's wanting to do tonight. He's obviously wanting to put a lot of pressure on Manchester City. He's wanting to try and get that first win as well in the Champions League, but as you sort of said and read out the team, obviously there's a couple of players like Pepe and Partey which a lot of people will remember. I think with Pepe, he was bought for a lot of money to Arsenal and didn't quite work out for him. Tonight, I think it's a case of, I'm basically going to show you what I was capable of. But as far as Villarreal are concerned, I think they'll be looking at this. They've got a very strong team out, and can they upset a City team? For me, that on the back of the Everton performance, which was a very, very good performance, can they upset City? I think that's going to be very, very difficult, but the atmosphere here as well is going to be absolutely brilliant. It's one of them grounds where it's not a huge ground, but it looks as though it's one of them ones where it's compact and it'll be very, very noisy.
Yeah, it's a ground about an hour's drive north of Valencia. Another 2 hours from here and you get up to Barcelona. It's kind of one of those smaller towns, one of those smaller teams in La Liga, but they don't half get behind their local team. And as we saw earlier, it was where Rodri first came to everyone's attention as a Villarreal player. Let's quickly get on to City, by the way, Steve, and changes for the Blues as well. Obviously nowhere near as many, but what catches your eye about the City lineup this evening?
Well, again, straight away, I always look, is Haaland playing? Because, yes, the manager could rotate, but at the same time, you've got a player that's just in exceptional form. Again, I know the lads were talking about it in the studio about how many touches and that he has. I think he's just concentrating on how many goals he scores. And yes, he had not a lot of touches at the weekend, but he gets 2 goals, and he'd have been disappointed with that because he had a couple of chances against Pickford as well. But just the team itself, it's a team which, for me, is an attacking team. Obviously looks very solid at the back. We all know what the lads at the back are capable of, but a creative midfield, and of course always going to be there with a threat.
Well, if City were to win tonight, they'd move on to 7 points. Last season, 11 took them into the knockout phase in our first year in the league phase of the Champions League. It would be a significant moment to win tonight ahead of 2 home games as well, wouldn't it?
Well, absolutely. I mean, really, they should have won the first game against Monaco. I think I'm right in sort of saying it was 2-2. And then obviously the win at Napoli. But yeah, I mean, it takes the pressure off a little bit. As I said, I'm still trying to get used to the idea of this new format. I'm not sure if I'm a fan or not. Still trying to work it out. But yeah, of course, I think the manager and the players themselves, they'll be more than confident about trying to win here. I mean, yes, it's going to be difficult, but at the same time, I just think they've got the players, and we all know how good these players are, to get the job done tonight.
OK, the thoughts there of Steve Howie. He'll be alongside me on commentary duty. It's the team second in the Premier League against the team third in La Liga. All the ingredients, you feel, for what should be an entertaining night. Let's go back and join Natalie.
Thank you so much there to Alistair Mann and to Steve Howie. Scott, what did you make? It occurs to me that we've talked a lot about the new Champions League format when it came out, and obviously last season as well. What did you make of it when the new, I keep calling it the big old table stage of the Champions, when it changed to that? What did you make of it? What was the kind of talk around the team?
I think everyone just found it a bit strange and didn't understand that the way it seemed to work. I think I'm a bit old school and stuff like that. I just like it. What was wrong with the old groups? You used to like seeing the groups and seeing where people were at. So I think for me it was a little bit strange and to see how it worked. And then obviously when it got to the latter parts of it, where the knockout, you still didn't understand it, who we could play, who we couldn't play. So I found it a bit. I tried to not pay as much notice of it whereas before it was just so simple, wasn't it?
You know what, I was exactly the same, but I feel like I've kind of, under my breath, kind of grown to really like it this season. Yeah.
This season, not last season.
Last season, I agree with Scott, towards the end it was confusing. We can play there and they can play there and we can go there here.
Yeah.
But now I'm kind of liking the amount of different clubs we get to play.
So it's more of a selfish one then?
Yeah.
In terms of journey. Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's fair. Lots of people like that. And I get it. I get what Scott's saying, because like you don't really like to see change in football more often than not. And certain bits about it were confusing. Yeah. And with UEFA as well, I feel like they kind of tweak some of the rules halfway through the whole thing, which definitely doesn't help in terms of bringing people on board. But listen, as long as you're winning games, like tennis speaks for itself.
Yeah, exactly. Now, you two played together.
Yeah, we did, yeah. And it wasn't in black and white TV times. So we were talking like colour. It wasn't HD, but yeah, colour TV was very active, yeah.
7 times for England under 21s between 2005 and 2007.
Mm-hmm.
So that feels like yesterday.
Listen, it's definitely not yesterday.
I definitely couldn't remember which one of them games it was either.
You started at the Euros, didn't you, 2007 in
Holland.
In Holland, yeah. So I think that's where it would have been, because I think to count the games, I think one of them, the first one was like against Czech Republic.
Yeah. Italy,
yeah. Oh, the Italy game. I remember, well, there was Czech Republic, there was Italy, there was definitely then the Netherlands in the semi-final. There was that third team, I can't remember who it was though. And then also, were you goalkeeper in 2005 when we lost in the playoffs to France?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it would have been the second game. Yeah. I was playing left back against Ribery. It's a memorable experience. So there's the 4 games at the tournament, that one against France, and then it would have been 2 qualifiers potentially. But yeah, I remember that.
You said I remember that. It was obviously Ribery was just coming on the scene, and Frank Ribery, he just destroyed us.
The first leg. Sorry, we'll do the storytelling now.
No, I love it.
The first leg was at White Hart Lane.
Yeah.
And I remember going out onto the pitch before the game, like before warming up and stuff, and I just saw this scrawny looking fella, like with a tracksuit on. I was like, he must be help or something, mascot. Like, I was on the bench that first game. The masterclass he put on game 1. Out of this world. And I think it's like a reminder that like some of the people who play 21s, you forget how quickly they jump up to that next stage, because Frank Ribery is like a European football icon. And a week later he's playing against me at left back, which is good fun.
Bakary Sagna was playing in that under-21s team as well.
Was he? Yeah.
So it's 2007. It was the semi-finals you went out in the Euros, the under-21s Euros, against Netherlands. Do you remember the score?
Yeah, it was about 15-14. I think it was something.
13-12. Yeah.
Do you remember what I remember as well? So I actually came off just before the end of the game.
Yes, you were forced off injured.
But we'd used all the subs. Some might say I bottled it, maybe I did, but my groin was in bits anyway, because I didn't start pre-season here because I was injured. But the game that sticks out to me the most, and I don't know if you remember this, we were playing against Italy, and in the game we went like 2-0 up quite early, or possibly 3. I remember, I think it was Kieran Richardson said, and we were being direct at the time, and Kieran Richardson said, right, okay boys, we've started off well, let's get the ball down, start playing now. Didn't see the ball again for the rest of the game. We got absolutely battered. They had 30 shots in the game, mate. Remember, clear as day, they had 30 shots.
You were busy.
I
can't remember.
It's because there were so many shots, you just lose track after all.
Did it finish 2-2?
It finished 2-2.
Yeah, that's all I remember.
You must have had a great game, Scott, if there was 30 shots.
Of course he did.
I'll take it. I'll take that then. I can't remember if
I remember looking up at the stats on the board at the end of the game, and they had 30 shots. And I'll never forget Kieran say to us, come on lads, we started well, okay, let's get the ball down and start playing. It wasn't our game at that time.
There's so many City connections as well, because Joe Hart was on the bench. You were the number one, and Joe Hart started on the bench as well. Other notable players that played in that squad with you as well. Not trying to make anybody in this room or at home feel really old, but James Milner and Ashley Young were in that under-21 squad, and they're still playing.
Yeah.
I think if one person was going to still be playing, it was definitely going to be Millie. He was. I knew him from 16, and he just. If there's one person that's never changed his ways or how he goes about it day to day, it's him, and it's a credit to him, and he thoroughly deserves it.
It's funny, because looking back then, so we'd be doing hydration tests for England every day, and he'd always have the best score. Yeah. And I always just think this guy needs to get a life, you know what I mean? Get some sleep. And then, I retired 5 years ago, and he's still playing, and he's a year older as well. But this is, as Scott said, the traits that he had back then, and the reason why he's still doing stuff today. 100%. And he was so far ahead of how some people were thinking about football at that point, which is huge credit to him. And, I don't know if he'll break the Premier League all-time appearance record, but if he does, what a moment that'll be, because he's taken that from Gareth Barry, who again is an icon of the Premier League. So more power to him.
I love the idea that James Milner was a hydration swot.
It's obsessed with his hydration. Looking back, it's just get ready for training. Do you know what I mean? That's the thing. But I thought, this guy needs to get a life, man. Stop drinking water.
Now, there's one game that you're going to want to look back on here, between the two of you: City versus West Brom. In 2009. Do you remember this? It's a screamer for you, Nedum. You'll remember it.
Every goal I scored was a screamer. See how hard I've hit that? Smashed off the old fod. Great celebration. What's he crying about? What is he crying about?
What's wrong, Scott?
What is he crying about?
I got assaulted just before he headed it in.
Allegedly. Hey, respect the ref. Respect the ref.
To be honest, it was very rare I lost my head in games, but that was the one time I did feel like I was really hard done by, and I think I'd have been happy if I'd have just got sent off, just to get off the field, because it was...
Yeah, it's a dark moment for you, mate. Listen, not many people had the pleasure of me scoring against them, so I understand why he'd be in the trenches, pal. Yeah,
do you agree that it was probably a free kick?
I didn't see it, so I'll have to check the video again in a few years' time. Just what a header, to keep your eye on the ball like that, to hold your ground and just slam that in. Big moment. I think that was to maybe go 2 up as well.
Yeah, he's probably early doors, which made it even worse. But just got one in the Adam's apple there, which probably upset me a little bit.
Ultimately, whatever you thought you were going to do, if it would have come to me, I still would have headed it in anyway. That's what you need to think about, Scott. Yeah, so you did yourself a favour by getting blocked off. So we're all good.
Still not happy, look.
Still not. Before we move on, just in terms of thinking about that England under-21s team that you played in, and obviously the amount of games that you've had in your career since then as well. This is a question for you. Any of the players that you've played with, would anybody have made it into City's treble-winning squad? Or 11? 11.
That's a
tricky question.
That's a bit of a naughty question. That.
She said squad, to be fair.
And then
I signed for Leeds when I was 16, when they were flying in the Premier League, and then obviously I went to Liverpool. I've been fortunate enough to be at some big clubs, and you've only got to look at some of the squads and see see some of the players that play for them. But I think the treble squad was just unbelievable, and not so much even just the players on the field, just the whole atmosphere every single day was brilliant. And even from pre-season in America, everyone just seemed to just click straight away, and we just had such a laugh for the full season. And I think that was a massive part of the success that we had. And I think I even think it now. If you've got that camaraderie in a dressing room and everyone getting on and everyone having a laugh together and being serious when they have to be serious, and I think that honestly, it's a big thing for me. It definitely has to be a big positive.
It's a great answer, that, you know.
Because he's trying to swerve the question, I'm just going to take it as a no.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, valid.
Thank you very much. OK, right, we're going to head over now to Spain because we have found Steve McManaman. Let's have a chat with him.
Steve, great to see you.
Nice to see you.
Looking forward to this one tonight?
I am, yes. It's a lovely stadium, isn't it? Very small, very compact. Stands out a mile as you drive in. I mean, I've been here and played here many times before, but it's always really nice to come back here, actually.
And what's it like playing in the stadium? It feels like they're right on top of you, the fans.
Yes, they are, but as you can clearly see, you know, it's not as big as a lot of the grounds that, of course, the teams play in the Premier League. So it's not that vociferous, it's not that hostile, but still they're on top of you. It's a Champions League night. They need a victory, don't they? They need 3 points after their poor start to the campaign. So it should be a really good night. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, when I look at the both teams, Manchester City are still big favourites to win this evening. Yeah,
when you look at the La Liga table, it's Real Madrid, Barcelona at top. They're in third place, so they're doing okay. Who were some of the players to look out for tonight?
Well, a lot of the long-standing players that, you know, Moreno. I mean, we haven't seen the team yet, but Moreno up front. You know, they've spent big money on the centre forwards. Of course, they've got players that have played in the Premier League. They've got a lot of experienced players, but it's whether they've got that real quality and that, you know. Atletico Madrid have faltered this year, so they've jumped into third place, which is in itself really, really good for them. But in all honesty, I don't think they've got a hope of catching Real Madrid and Barcelona, who are out and away. But still, if they can stay in this type of position and get into a Champions League spot at the end of the season, again, it's a huge achievement for them.
And just sort of talking about La Liga teams, everyone's saying Premier League clubs are the favourites for the competition this year, maybe PSG. It feels to me like you're right off Spanish teams at your peril, particularly someone like Real Madrid, who've won it so many times. Where do you see the Spanish clubs fitting into the Champions League in general?
I mean, Barcelona should have got to the final last year, shouldn't they? You know, they lost naively, really, to Inter Milan at the end. They're always very dangerous. I know they're winning now at the moment, 2-0 early on in the early game. Real Madrid have built their squad again, but I don't know whether they've got that, you know, that X factor at this moment in time. They still look a little bit disjointed, even though they've only lost one game this year to Atletico Madrid. So I would still say, as a whole, the English teams and PSG very closely followed by Barcelona and Real Madrid, definitely, because of course you see last year the way the draw went and Liverpool played PSG early and Manchester City played Real Madrid early. I don't think that'll happen this year. I think all the big boys, because of the league format, the way it's the second year now, I think they'll all do the business early and they'll all jump into that top 8. So it'll be interesting to see, but I still expect, you know, the big English teams to be really strong, I really do.
And just the way City are playing at the moment, 8 games unbeaten, do you feel like Europe is starting to think about City and think maybe they're getting back into the old groove, you know, classic side?
I think so. I think what you have to remember is that, like a lot of teams, well, like not a lot of teams, like a few teams in Europe, Manchester City are going through a little transitional period themselves. They bought a few players in January of last year. They bought again in the summer. You can't expect them just to be amazing straight away like the old sort of Pep sides. So Pep will have a way of playing. Of course, Pep Linders has come in, Colo's come in, which is great to see. They'll work their little bit of magic, give them new ideas, give them new training regimes and get that freshness back into the group. But certainly when you've got Erling Haaland up front and you can create, you are going to win games, and it's a very exciting time for them all.
And is that how you see it tonight? If City are right on it, do you think they could be too strong for Villarreal?
Oh yes I do. As you rightly said, City have to be on it. You know what, we're sitting in this lovely stadium, it's nice and warm. You know, City are favourites. If they're on it and come and arrive like they have been playing, I expect them to overpower Villarreal. It's one of those nights where if everybody's a bit lackadaisical because it's hot and they're just going through the motions, it might be a bit more difficult. But if City are on it, which I expect them to be under Pep, I fully expect them to win tonight.
Fantastic. Thanks, Steve. Great
Cheers,
to talk
mate.
to you.
Thank you. Lovely seeing you.
That's Steve McManaman speaking to us a little bit earlier on, and there you go. Currently at Villarreal, you can see they are doing a lovely light show. Now, of course, lots of Champions League fixtures this evening. Barcelona have already played. They were one of the earlier kickoffs, and they beat Olympiacos 6-1. And so you can see there, that is the league table as it stands, match day 3. We are currently sitting in 9th, which, do you know what, Scott? I can't remember what it means. But that's where we are right now. We'll see again. Top 8, isn't it, that goes through without the...
Yeah, the 9 to 16, whatever it is, that's the playoff.
That's the playoff-y thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's definitely what it is, yeah.
Yes.
Just basically, you don't want to be in the column on the right, the far
right.
right one. That's have a year off. Yeah.
Yeah, you want to be on the columns to the left.
Yeah, the further left on that graphic you go, the better you are.
To the left.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, right. Move on quick. Earlier on today as well, the youth team played Villarreal as well. The under-19s team sadly were beaten 2-1. There was, though, a positive, which was this incredible goal by Divine Mukasa. Have you seen this one yet, gents? Take a look at this. Give me your instant reaction to this one.
That's who he is. Divine is very nice. He's really, really good. Isn't that the same guy that scored from the halfway line last season for the youth team as well? And he's the same person that got the assist, I believe, for Foden against Huddersfield. Yes. Yeah, Divine.
Yeah, I think he'd come up a couple of times while I was there, and obviously when you're coming up so young, you've obviously got some talent. So. Obviously, I'm glad he's shown it now on the Champions League scene.
Yeah, he's a good prospect.
That was very, very nice. We can see now there's Rodri. He's not playing tonight, but he's getting lots of love from the Villarreal crowd. That is where he started off. I love a little boy there in the Villarreal end with the City shirt on. All good. And look at the love that he is getting back. Now, did you know, gents, by the way, do you know who the Villarreal's under-19s coach is?
Former City player?
No.
So
there's a lot to choose from then, isn't there?
Yeah. What's the link?
Scott is the link. Someone Scott played with.
Do you know?
I think I do, yeah.
Go on then.
Pepe Reina.
It is.
Is
Pepe
it?
Reina.
Did he retire at the end of last season? Was it Como, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think he did, didn't he? And I think I remember that Liverpool actually signed him from Villarreal, I think, when obviously he came over to Liverpool. So that's obviously where the link is of him going home, maybe.
Lovely.
That's more than we did the research on, so thanks for that, Scott. Thank you. So we are 5 minutes away now from tonight's 8 p.m. kickoff. City taking on Villarreal. So, Nadim, give me your final thoughts. What sort of game are you expecting?
Predictions, honestly. I know it's an important part of media, but I just don't know what to think. When you see, especially when it's Champions League and these teams don't play against each other all the time. Like, you just don't know. But for Villarreal, they're a good footballing side. I've seen them once this year, and it was when they played away to Spurs. And the goalkeeper basically threw one in the first couple of minutes of the game. But after that, they were really, really solid. And Spurs, at times, were probably quite looking to take that 1-0 win. So I think they'll be tough, they'll be ready, and they know that the position they're in, you have to start getting some wins in if you want to get some peace of mind as the tournament progresses. So hopefully City will understand that danger. They'll have to suffer for certain parts, but the boys are in great form, so I'll always back them.
Can I push you for a score? You
could try, but I'm a movable object, so maybe try Scott. I think he'll reach it.
Scott, what sort of game are you expecting?
I think, obviously, these days there's no easy games in the Champions League, but obviously on paper everyone's expecting City just to go in there, do a job and come out with the points, but it's never as easy as that, and like we just seen from the other presenters there, it looks like it's going to be a good atmosphere. So as long as we have a good start and we get through that first 10 minutes, I anticipate quite a comfortable evening, and I'm probably going to go 2-3-0, I think. So
no fence sitting from Scott.
See. On his debut as well. You set the standard now. You're going to have to do that every game.
Thank you, Ned, and thank you very much, as always. Always a pleasure. Scott, it's been wonderful. Thank you very much for being here with us today. Scott and Ned and myself will all be back at half-time, where hopefully Scott's prediction is coming true. Now you'll get your full match commentary with Alistair Mann and with Steve Howie on the Manchester City app if you are not currently on there. So thank you very much for watching Matchday Live Blues, and we will see you in 45 minutes, hopefully with some big smiles on our faces.
Thank you, Natalie. Welcome to the Estadio de la Ceramica, as City have travelled to face Villarreal in their third match of the league phase of this season's UEFA Champions League. The Blues have begun positively with 4 points in their opening 2 games and are up against a club which will always have a place in City history, as it was against them that the Blues won their first ever Champions League fixture back in October 2011.